Raider Nation, what's going on? And this is the Raiders Report. My name's Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. I got rumors, news. We're going to kick it off with some rumors today. The first one I got coming up for you, Raiders training camp dates have been released. Well, guys, everything begins with training camp, and the Raiders have high expectations this season. The rookies will report on July 23rd, with the veterans heading to Napa on the 26th. In addition, the Raiders will host 2 joint practices with the Detroit Lions during training camp. There are a bunch of new faces on the Raiders this season, and training camp will be the first real step in the players starting to move their names up the depth chart. There are currently 90 guys on the Raiders roster, and by the time the season kicks off in September, that number will be all the way down to 53. One more time, Raider Nation. Rookies reporting July 23rd, and the veterans reporting the 26th. Next bit of news I got for you guys coming up on the board, Marquette King. This guy, he did one heck of a troll job on the Oakland Raiders. So, Raider Nation, let's assemble. Let's get him in the comments. You can throw up a word that makes you think of Marquette King. I wouldn't mind that at all. King is apparently back in Oakland area while the Broncos have some time off before training camp and went to great lengths to pull off an epic troll job on his former team. So, guys, let's take a look at that. Yeah, that I guess I can understand. Maybe, you know, the Raiders, this guy, we kind of loved his dancing antics, I would say, after his punts, and I can understand King dancing now. It's time in June, and he probably won't get many chances during the regular season. And I mean, because can you blame him? I mean, I don't really think the Broncos are going to win many games. So, guys, I want to know how many games that you think the Broncos are going to win. I'm going to say 5. Throw in the comments how many you think they're going to win. Next bit of news I got for you coming up on the board, maybe one of my favorite and friend of the show, Mo Hurst. He wants to sack Tom Brady, and, well, I don't really blame him. I mean, Tom Brady has been just ripping up the NFL, so why not want to sack this guy? Yesterday, Hurst was asked, which NFL quarterback would you like to sack the most? This is what he had to say. Mine's Tom Brady. I grew up in Boston. It would just be crazy to get a sack on Tom Brady. I mean, he's been playing since the early 1900s. Just like getting that opportunity to sack someone that could be my grandfather, that's just very, very exciting. But also, if I did ever get a sack, I think my mom said she'd be mad at me. Like, if I hurt Tom Brady, she would never forgive me, and there's a lot of people in Boston that would never forgive me. The Raiders, unfortunately, don't play the Patriots in the regular season, so if Hurst wants to get his chance this year, it'll have to be in the postseason. Fingers crossed Hurst gets his chance. So, is Brady really old enough to be Hurst's grandfather, though? I guess, like, that's what I want to know. And I don't really think so, but Tom Brady, this guy was drafted in 2000, and I just wanted to show you some of the things that were going on in the year 2000. So, top song of the year was Breathe by Faith Hill. I'll be honest, never heard of it. Movie, Gladiator, never saw it. And an invention that came in 2000, the first camera phone. Wait a minute, let's take a selfie. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to the Raiders Report. My name's Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at Mitchell Renz 365. Those are my news. Now you guys got to understand my Raiders rumors scale. So, 0 Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that, not going to happen. 1 Chucky head, small shred of truth. I like to think 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads, people are talking 50-50, coin flip. 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely, 75% chance this rumor is going to happen. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby, 100% this rumor is going to happen. All right, let's get into some of those Raiders rumors. Reggie Nelson, he's going to have a reduced role in 2018. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. So, Reggie Nelson knows the system inside and out. The 12-year veteran spent the 2010 to 2015 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals. Paul Gunther served as the linebackers and special teams coach as well as defensive coordinator during that time in Cincinnati. Nelson is battling with Obi, and if Obi flashes his true upside, then Nelson may be in more of a battle. Either way, Gunther doesn't plan to utilize defenders in the same fashion compared to last year. This is his quote. Reggie played 99% of the snaps last year. We're not going to have guys playing 99% of the snaps this year. Your goal is to play in the package or that package. So, I just wanted to bring up a quick list goal here of Reggie Nelson's last 3 years. And in 2017, you can see 89 tackles, 2016, 65 tackles, and in 2015, 77 tackles. This is a guy, though, in 2015 who had those 8 interceptions. Yes, he's not going to play 99% of the snaps again, but I still think the reduced role is probably going to be coming for Nelson. More talent in the defense, not a bad thing. Next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board, Martavis Bryant. Is he going to play tight end this year? We've talked about Martavis a little bit. I'm going to give this one 0 Chucky heads. Tuck rule, tuck that. Not going to happen. So, Oakland Raiders wide receiver Martavis Bryant brings a lot of athleticism to the team. This is something tight end Jared Cook quickly found out when he was on the practice field with Bryant during organized team activities and mandatory minicamp. I tell him every day that he might as well move to tight end because we're about the same size, Cook said on Sirius XM NFL radio. He added that Bryant can run fast for days and can straight fly down the field. Now let's compare both Bryant and Cook just from like a size standpoint and some of the numbers that they put up last year. So again, 6'5" for Cook, 6'4" for Bryant. Yes, the weight's a lot different, and I think Cook's probably a better blocker, even though he's not really known for blocking. But the numbers are actually fairly similar, and Cook did lead the Raiders in receptions last year with 54, or in yards, my mistake, with 688. So numbers are similar, but I'm going to say no chance because I think Bryant is going to be a wide receiver, not a tight end. Next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board, Kolton Miller is standing out the most for the Oakland Raiders this offseason. I'm giving this one 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. So I love reading this about the Raiders' first-round pick. Jon Gruden was asked by the Raiders media who he thought stood out the most in recent workouts. And without hesitation, Gruden said Kolton Miller. Gruden has shown his love for Miller all offseason. Shortly after the draft, Gruden said he's one of the most athletic tackles that I've ever seen. I mean, ever seen. At the Combine, his broad jump, I think, was almost 11 feet. That's outstanding. Plus, he ran a sub-5 flat 40-yard dash. Next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board, have NFL teams figured out Amari Cooper? Well, you have to find out after word from our sponsor, Mizzen & Main. Have NFL teams figured out Amari Cooper? I'm giving this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. It took one down year for Oakland Raiders top wide receiver Amari Cooper for doubters to start scattering about. After back-to-back seasons of over 1,000 receiving yards and 11 combined touchdowns, Cooper was widely considered as a young playmaker on the rise. Then last season came, and the tune of many NFL analysts have seemingly changed. But someone having a bad year is different than opposing NFL teams completely figuring out how to slow down a player. According to Sports Illustrated's Annie Bonite, opposing defenses now know how to defend Cooper. Quote, Amari Cooper, about a year and a half ago, defenses realized he doesn't get off press coverage very well. He said, once he's into his route, he's as good as anyone. He is very quick, very nuanced, and subtle in that way, and he runs his routes, which is a very important trait. But you remove that, and if you jam him and take his timing away, that's what teams have done. That's why NFL teams have figured him out. So, guys, I just wanted to bring up real quick Amari Cooper's career stats. 2017, he struggled. No doubt about it. 48 catches, 680 yards. I guess if you want to be positive, the 7 touchdowns. But I think it's definitely his first 2 years where, I think what you can expect from a guy like Amari, I still don't think NFL teams have totally figured him out. I guess we'll have to wait and see entering year 4. Next rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board, Mario Edwards Jr. Is he going to be cut or traded? I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads, pretty likely. So let's just be honest here. Mario Edwards Jr. needs to start to impress or his time in Oakland will end. The Raiders added Arden Key in the draft and take care of him in free agency while also moving Bruce Irvin to defensive end to pair with, when he comes back, Khalil Mack. Tack on to the fact that Edwards has failed to live up to expectations in his first 3 NFL seasons, totaling no more than 3.5 sacks in a single year, and it's obvious why he may see the door. I think the most likely scenario would be for the Raiders attempting to trade Edwards, as they almost certainly would get something back for a former second-round pick who is still only 24 years old. So, guys, I want to know from you, what should the Raiders do with Mario Edwards Jr.? Do you think they should try to trade him? Give me a heart. If you think they should just outright cut him, give me a like. And if you think they should keep him, give me a wow face. For the people on YouTube, you guys love hitting me up. That's for sure. Send in the comments, trade, cut, keep, Mario Edwards Jr. What should we do? Last rumor I got for you guys coming up on the board. Gareon Conley is going to the Pro Bowl. Oh, man. Imagine. I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. Get your tickets for the Gareon Conley hype train. All aboard. The hype surrounding Oakland Raiders' second-year cornerback Gareon Conley has now made it to the national media. While Conley has earned rave reviews from coaches and players alike to this point in 2018 offseason, expectations are incredibly high for the team's former first-round draft pick. Conley enters 2018 as the Raiders' clear-cut #1 cornerback, and as previously stated, there are some high expectations. And in the recent breakdown of projections for first-time Pro Bowlers in the AFC, NFL.com's Gil Brandt gave the nod to Conley. Brandt wrote this: Conley was thought to be as good as eventual Defensive Rookie of the Year Marshawn Lattimore, but he played in just 2 games, landed on the injured reserve, and underwent shin surgery. Conley is an excellent athlete with the talent to live up to those lofty expectations, although he needs to add strength. Big things are expected from Conley this offseason. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning into the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz. Please follow me on Twitter at MitchellRenz365, and don't be afraid to subscribe to the new Raiders Report on YouTube. I would definitely greatly appreciate that.